Today I want to talk about 6 reasons why it's so unhealthy to keep family secrets. Hang on. Keeping family secrets is probably one of the most common things that marriage family therapists like myself see in family therapy. Families come in, they're there to work on a particular issue perhaps, and during the course of therapy we find out there's lots of hidden secrets. Or in couples therapy for a husband and wife, let's say, they come in, they're wanting to delve into certain issues, not knowing that in order to make progress, they have to reveal some secrets to their significant other that they would rather have kept hidden. Well, it never does any good usually to hold on to these kinds of secrets. Today I want to look at 6 of those reasons. Now, number 1 is it erodes your self-esteem. The person who's holding on to this, or maybe it's 2 people in a family, but whoever is holding on to the secret, it erodes your self-esteem because it's very shame-based. Having to deceive, having to sort of hide, having to always remember how you're covering yourself, what you said about it in the past and what you're saying about it now. All that energy that goes into hiding an authentic piece of knowledge on some level is going to affect how you feel about yourself. And that's because when we're hiding information, hiding something, we pay the price in terms of shame, guilt, confusion. It can cause chronic anxiety because we're always worried about something exploding. There's many ways we pay a price. And if we're feeling some of those feelings I just mentioned, that affects our self-confidence usually, affects how we feel about ourselves as a person, which of course is self-esteem. And it affects our ability then to go forward in our life with perhaps a significant other or a new family that we're starting, to learn and to understand what it's like to just be truthful, to be transparent. We haven't had that training because we've gotten used to keeping certain secrets hidden. So while you may feel like you're doing a good thing and protecting somebody, be sure to take into account that you may be hurting yourself in the long run. Number 2, keeping these secrets causes all kinds of havoc in the family or in the couple when the truth is finally revealed, and oftentimes it is finally revealed. We all really want to believe that those closest to us, our own family members, our good friends, have our backs, that we can trust them. And when we find out that we cannot trust them any longer because the truth has been revealed about something, then that's going to probably cause ongoing suspicion. You're always wondering, what are they really going to change this time? And then that can fester into resentment perhaps, because over time you look back and you're thinking, why did I have to go through all that just because they weren't man enough or woman enough to deal with the truth? Number 3, keeping family secrets creates kind of a facade of a life, right? It's not really real, it's not really authentic. And then God forbid when the truth is found out either by a family member, or even worse is when it comes in through the grapevine from a coworker or a friend or somebody, then you feel even more betrayed perhaps because you weren't even able to hear it from a family member. Once you break trust, it takes a long time, if ever, to rebuild it back with somebody important in your life. That's why a lot of marriages end when a partner is cheating, because even though the partner who did cheat is very apologetic and assures their significant other it'll never happen again, and has great remorse and they're trying to repair it, the one who's been cheated on may not want to go back and revisit this, meaning they want out of the relationship. Number 4 is the children. So if you're in a relationship and you have kids, this is going to probably greatly impact their lives when the truth comes out. Any family dynamic can come out later that's going to be hurtful when a child realizes they weren't included in the truth, finding out they were adopted, finding out one of their uncles has molested one of their brothers or sisters, finding out that mom had a coke addiction for years and years and years and had to go to rehab, but dad hid it from everybody. Whatever it is, we could go on with a million reasons, right? It's anything that can happen in life. When it's hidden, it usually becomes toxic. Now, sometimes in the best interest of a child, a piece of truth may be held to help the child go through their normal developmental stages, and a parent may feel it's too overwhelming for a young child to grasp the truth. But that needs to be processed with the therapist, because sometimes when you're in it, if you're the parent, for example, trying to figure this out and you're feeling a lot of emotional turmoil, you may not be able to be objective about whether the child should know or not know. So that's when it's important to talk this over with a family therapist and get some objective input. Next is keeping secrets can make you sick, either physically sick or emotionally sick. If someone's been harboring a huge family secret for years and they would much rather tell the truth, but they're keeping it in to please their sister or to please their father, so they're doing it to benefit somebody else, but they're paying a price for it, well, that has to really be looked at. Because the one who's harboring the secret and doesn't want to harbor it may find out emotionally they're having anxiety, panic attacks, maybe they're in a depressed mood a lot, or physical symptoms in terms of coming out somatically, which is basically when we have physical issues related to the repression of emotional feelings. So we just don't get away with just ignoring feelings and thinking they're just going to go away magically. No, one way or the other, they're going to pop up, and oftentimes they'll come up somatically. So you can full on cause cancer for yourself, or it could be a symptom that really can't be diagnosed. The doctor keeps telling you that there's really nothing wrong with you, but you wonder why your stomach is always feeling like it has an ulcer. Or you're wondering why you always have this shoulder pain. It's just immense. I can't even sleep on the shoulder, but come to find out you've been carrying the emotional pain that hasn't been processed in your shoulder. So oftentimes emotional pain can come out in some physical area of the body. That's called somatic disorder if that's happening to you. So that's a big red flag that the secret probably needs to be talked about or divulged, processed with a therapist at least, if it's causing you these kinds of symptoms. And next is if you grow up this way, maybe it's common in your family, a kid especially can begin to normalize this. So they begin to think this is normal and they're very familiar with it. And so as they get older, they carry it on into their adult life when they're starting their family, for example. Well, that's not healthy. Just because you learn this behavior from very emotionally toxic parents doesn't mean that you want to carry that on in your dynamics with your family or with your friends or with your coworkers or whoever. So we have to watch for families that keep family secrets that are toxic, that if they're having the children around this, that the children begin to normalize it in addition to the adults normalizing it, because after a while we become desensitized. We begin to think this is what everybody does. This is something I've always done. And sometimes we don't even know what the truth is anymore because we've gotten so good at just talking ourselves into what in essence is a lie. So there's different kinds of secrets. Let's start with the known family secrets, which is basically information that people in a particular nuclear family know, but nobody outside the family knows. And that usually stems from the family not wanting to be judged, and so they don't talk about the fact that the father's an alcoholic, or their daughter was raped at school last year, or that their son is gay and coming out right now, or that mom has a gambling issue. So that information stays just within the family. And then there's internal secrets just within the family. So that's, let's say, where two people of a family know something, but the other ones don't. And there's different levels of toxicity depending on what's being hidden and why. Let's pretend it's the parents doing this from their children. Well, it could be anything as benign as we want to take the kids to Disneyland this weekend and you're not telling the kids because you want to surprise them, versus something that's not innocent like that, that ranges up to the fact that dad has been cheating on his wife, their mother, for many years, and now the mom is getting ready to file for divorce. And again, if it's something serious, then if you're deciding whether to tell the children or not, please process this with a therapist, because depending on what's in the best interest of everybody, some of these things need to be unthreaded. And lastly, there's just simply the personal secret that one person is keeping from everybody else, and sometimes paying a big price for that emotionally or physically. I know for myself, years ago, coming out was a big secret that I wanted to keep for myself. And then I paid the price with feeling shame and grief and upsetness about something that is just natural to me and is something that in essence can be celebrated. So whether it's coming out, or maybe somebody is self-harming, maybe the person has an eating disorder and they're just hiding it really well, maybe they have a serious illness, maybe they've been traumatized, maybe physically abused or sexually abused by an aunt, and they're afraid to tell other family members because they don't feel like they'll be believed. So if you're dealing with this and you're feeling confused, please seek out some professional help, see a licensed therapist, and process your feelings about all this. Disclosing a secret may be the first step to helping yourself heal and helping family members or friends heal whoever's involved. And then, like myself as a therapist, where we see a lot of family secrets, you'll be able to see just how common this family secret really is, shared by many, many families, and then that begins to remove the stigma that's associated with whatever the issue is. Please leave me some comments below. I'd love to hear if this has been an issue for you growing up or currently in your family. Please subscribe to my mental health YouTube channel if you like these kind of videos. And until next week, this is Brad Shore signing off from Ask a Shrink.